most churches, most church leaders don't need to be convinced that family, marriage, having children, that those are venues in which we grow in our faith and we need help in our faith. But most of us spend more time at work than doing anything else.
The process of entrepreneurship is a deeply formational one. I am formed and shaped by the decisions I make on a daily basis, by the things I allow to give weight in my life. So there's a constant challenge with when things are going bad. Do you blame yourself and say, hey, this is the only thing that matters in my life and I'm a total screw up here? And when things are going good, do you say, I am the greatest person in the world, I'm invincible, this thing is taking off and I'm going to get so many accolades for it? Or can you actually consistently inhabit that healthy middle of understanding that while work matters, it's not the sole definition of who you are as an individual in front of Christ?
We're a toy company. We make magnetic wooden blocks, and we hope to build the next Lego. We believe that profit is good, and we want to use it to benefit others. I entered this intersection of my faith, my vocational passions in this toy company, I would say from a relatively naive perspective. It was kind of like, I want to check every box on my list of like life interests in one single job. Fast forward like 2 years into Tegu, and it was just work. It was hard. There's a lot of uncertainty. We were basically taking this idea into a reality. So much of what we had planned for was just off. It was just wrong. But I began to realize, actually, in the end, that there was a fallacy of thinking that there was this perfect concoction of sort of my making that would allow work to be redeemed. And in many respects, and by that I don't mean that it wasn't redeemed, I mean that it was so redeemed that it would be perfect and it would be sort of like this ultimate kind of nirvana, if you will, related to like how we spend our time. And no matter how much I checked those boxes of basically like the perfect job because I made it for myself as an entrepreneur, what I realized was basically that that would not provide any rest for my soul. The reality is, God calls us to Himself, and He works on us in the multitude of things that are at work in our lives. The beauty of how He does that in work is that we experience the ups and downs. It's that Tim Keller calls it the sun and the frost, and He's using these things, and it's some days of elation and other days of despair, and it's kind of all of that all at once, and no human, no pastor, no one could ever orchestrate that for it to be useful, but God can, and God does.